Hi, this is a brief overview of how to go from a 16 by 9 to a 4 by 3 or back again. I'm demonstrating this on Office 2016 for the PC, but the process is identical for the Mac. So what we are going to do is we are just going to start by, we'll come over to the 16 by 9, put our cursor on the first slide, and choose Control A. What that will do is it will copy or select all of the slides. You can also select smaller amounts. So if you hold down your Control key, you can select whatever random slide you may need. You can also go to View Slide Sorter, and you can choose to do it that way. So if you wanted to select just specific slides, just hold down your Control key and select whichever ones you like. In this case, we are, though, going to select them all. Now we will place our cursor over here in the 4 by 3, and we will simply paste. Now when we paste, I will now expand this full size. You'll see that the information, for the most part, comes in, but we do have some little extra miscellaneous things, and that is normal, so don't panic. Simply select, you can do Control A, right click, and choose Reset Slides. So when we do the Reset Slides, now as we arrow through, you will see that everything automatically switches. The reason that occurs is because we have a 4 by 3 and a 16 by 9 template, but they have the same master slide names. So when you go from one slide size to another, it will automatically switch it for you. Now there are some things that may be a bit different, but overall they will perform properly. Areas where you may have some concern is if you have, for example, random text boxes. Let me see if there's anything here that would be a good representation. The template is clean, so that really won't create a problem for you. The problems would stem more from how certain slides were formatted. So for example, this slide, you'll see that when it comes in looking pretty much the same, and we'll just go through some randoms. You'll see that it is a little squished more than it would be otherwise, but it is proportional. By that I mean, we'll see what this looks like. So that is what it looks like here. But if we go down to the equivalent in the actual 4 by 3 document, we'll see it expands more on the page. So those are things that will be a bit different in your original version versus the other. So I'll just do that once more, and I'll put slide by slide so you can see what I am referring to. So we'll just close out of this, and then I'll just do it once more because it is a lot to take in right away. So we'll do File, New. We'll come back here. We'll go back to the 4 by 3, and we will create. So now we have our 4 by 3 presentation to the left. Oops, excuse me. And a 16 by 9 on the right. So for example, we'll take one of those slides that could potentially be problematic. So we'll grab this slide, so the slide 49. If we were to copy this from here and bring it over and just paste it, you'll see it comes in proportionally shrunk down. The reason it is proportionally shrinking is because this is wider. So in order to make it fit, it has to be proportionally shrunk down. What you can do is you can select everything, right click and group. Then when it is grouped, then you can stretch it to the appropriate size to meet your needs. So that is the way that I would recommend doing it, and the way that tends to be most effective. We'll now do the next slide because that would be a similar situation, but we are going to go with a different option. Here you can go New Slide. We can just go with the blank slide background. Here we would just copy over the word calendar, for example, And we would have the opportunity to just select this information, copy it, and we can paste it here and then just move it to where we wanted it. So that is another way in which we can do it. Again, we can group it if we choose to. And some cases it will group, other cases it will not. It really depends on the type of information that is available. So in this case, we have to ungroup it before we can group it. I'm just going over all of this because it is something that you will encounter, and I'd just like you to have the tools to be able to work with this in a way that would be beneficial to you. Now, obviously, if it's something that is already in the other version, for example, if you want to use a slide that was in a 4x3 and you need to put it into 16:9, the best approach would be to do File, New, and then just take it from a clean document of the correct orientation. But that is not always possible. And if it can't be done that way, then sometimes just dragging it is the best approach. Another way to do it is you can go to New Slide, Reuse Slides, and you can open a PowerPoint file and do it in that way. So we'll just select something random. So for example, we can select this item, unrelated to your template, but you'll see that it will be brought in automatically. And so that is another approach. So for example, here, this is a widescreen, but if we bring it in, you'll see that it comes in quite well. One thing to keep in mind, that if you go to View Slide Master, it may bring in additional templates. In this case, it did not, because they are the same slide names as far as the master slides. But that is something to keep in mind, but this is a secondary way in which to do this. If you have additional questions, please let me know. Thank you.